Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us for this session on lifestyle. I'll be taking you as the moderator, and I'm called Joseph Sally. And our guest speaker today is Dr. Deodate Kilonzo. And she's based in Tanzania. She's a doctor by profession. And a nutritionist, as well as an international speaker. She deals with lifestyle issues and has recorded over more than 50 practical presentations entitled Nutrition and Health and Natural Remedies in Hope, Africa. She has presented more than 70 lessons in Hope, Tanzania, plus other local television shows in Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Ethiopia, Burundi, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and other African countries. She has done a lot of public and professional presentations, locally and international, and she's currently with an organization called Maisha and Lifestyle in Tanzania. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you very much. And it is my great pleasure to be here. And I want to thank God for have given me this opportunity again to talk to ICPA. And I want to thank the organizers of this webinar. And I'm very sure we will have a very good talk, controversial, yes. I am not saying that I will not bruise you, be expected to be bruised. And so to all participants, I truly want to invite all of you and to welcome you and to tell you that you should expect a ride, and it is not a small ride. And today's presentation is about lifestyle of all seasons. When we speak of lifestyle of all seasons, we need to know that when we speak of lifestyle, we speak about our routines. We do not speak of anything that we do once in a while. We might not be talking about our spring and fall and summer and winter, but yes, that one will also be in the background, that we have those seasons. But we'll be talking more of different seasons of our life. We have our different seasons. And then we will relate it to this science of health. And the science of health that we'll be dealing with is the natural hygiene. When we speak of a natural hygiene, we speak of the whole science and the art. It is restoring and preserving health. But how does it do it? You do not preserve health by yourself. You do not restore it neither. But what you do, you reduce and remove the cause of diseases. Very interesting, very interesting. All you have to do to this body is to reduce and remove the cause of diseases. And when you do that, then it means you are restoring and preserving health. And so I am happy that I am doing this because somebody is going to take it very seriously today. And as we are moving along, I also want you to trust that it is a scientific application. It is the principles, some principles of nature which have been tested over time. And what they do is only preserving and restoring health. And you see, we have our professional principles, but now these ones are the principles of health. And what is very interesting, it means these principles covers the needs of a human being in totality without ignoring the other. Now, wants and needs are very different. And if I'm to speak with my moderator here, Mr. Joseph, he has his own wants. And so it is everybody. But then the wants might not be necessarily the needs. And so today we just want to see about these needs of what our body demands, and we do not want to ignore anything else. But we need to know that this natural hygiene is not a practice of medicine. It is a healing act, all right? Do not solemnly use it to heal. And it is not a system of therapeutic. Neither does it offer any cure. It does not pretend to cure. This natural hygiene, it only emphasizes these principles based on the law of nature, and then they permit the body to heal itself. Very interesting. They permit the body to heal itself. And you see, all the time, the body heals itself. And so these principles, there are some principles, and we are going to touch some of these principles, and these principles will bless the body to heal itself, all right? Now, what are these factors which will affect ourselves, our body, but things that we do in our lifestyle? One, the food we eat. The food we eat will definitely affect us, all right? The nutrition in the food we eat will definitely affect us. Whether we hydrate ourselves well with the kind of water, and whether we take clean water, then it really matters to this body. And these are some of the factors that will affect us. Do we get enough sunshine? Do we get sleep or restful sleep? So all these are some of those factors. It matters to our body, how we eat it, when we eat it. It matters a lot what we eat it with. So the time we take our meals, whether we take our meals standing or walking, or whether we take our meals while driving, it matters to this body whether we take our meals while watching television. It matters a lot. It matters a lot how we take it and with what. The timings matters a lot. And so because of all this, that is when then we decide that it is important for us to learn some of these things. And again, we will see in these factors that there are some of the things that we learn from nature, like the way we are learning there, that when we take our food, how do we combine it? Do we cook or do we eat it raw? And is it processed or fresh from the farm? So because it matters to this body, then it should matter. It should influence our decision, and then it should also be something that influences our routines, which are our lifestyle. If it matters to the body, then it should matter to us. There is this issue of relaxation. How do we relax? Is it adequate? Is it enough relaxation? Now, how actively are we involved physically? Do we get enough physical activities? Some of us have routined ourselves that we will exercise probably for 1 hour, and then we only exercise for 30 or 60 minutes in the morning, but during the day, we stand most of the time. But you see, in active physical activities, it matters if you are seated for 10 hours and only exercise for 1 hour. We need to have the active kind of physical activity in a manner that throughout the day, we do our own things. It means at some time you become the messenger, and at some time you do your own things in the house. You carry files to another office, you collect it, and then you move around all the time. You are physically active. It is like telling people that chairs should not be around us, that we should do almost all the work, because it is proven that, yes, coffee, alcohol, drugs, and these other things, but it has been proven that the chairs we sit on are also hazardous, even like those other health risks. And that is why we need to consider ourselves that we do things the right way, okay? And then there is something else again that we need to see in physical activities. There are some other things like toxins and stress. These are very bad factors, things that affect us. And when we pile these toxins, and then we are all the constant stress, then it matters a lot because they completely ruin us. Do we have positive social relationship? So all these, yes, these factors affect our life. When we exercise, with whom we exercise with, and whether we do it inside the house or whether it is outside in the field, then it matters a lot to this body hygiene to somehow help us to reduce the causes of diseases. Then it means we will see a little bit about the history, the short history of this natural hygiene. It first started as a movement, and then there is this doctor called Isaac Jennings in 1800s who first called it a natural hygiene, but it was first a movement. What kind of movement? There was another prominent person who was dealing with life science, who is called Sylvester Graham. And this Sylvester Graham and another one, Dr. Russell Thacker-Troll. There's another one, Bernard McFadden, and a prominent person in 1920s called Dr. Herbert M. Shelton. Now, these ones together are pioneers of this natural hygiene. What did they find out? This is what they found out, that the inside of us determines what we look outside. The inside of us determines our weight. And the inside of us determines our skin and our hair and our eyes, even the glowing and the color of our eyes and the glowing of our face. Our insides are the ones determining. You see, this natural hygiene works on the concept of cleaning our inner body and mind. It means what is in your mind can affect your body, because the body and the mind are one, are intertwined. Again, what they found out, that if you ignore your body, or at some point you decide to ignore your mind with this toxic material, You see, because our mind can also get clogged up. Then that is how we get sick. That is how we get sick. And so, if we want, then we should clean the body, and it will command to clean the mind. Very interesting. Very interesting. Now, how do we become toxic? There is this very little formula. There are some equations that have to balance here. And this is what it is saying, that when the elimination process, we have different kind of processes in the body, that when the elimination process does not take place at the same pace we consume our food, then it means we will start building up. We will start building up. And so when that happens, then it means we will build up more toxin in the body rather than we pile up. We pile up dirty, we pile up a lot of toxic material, and then we pile up more, we remove less, and then we add more. And that becomes very dangerous, okay? And so, as interesting as this is, as it is, then this is what we have to do. We eliminate more, and then we get enough space of adding into what we consume. Yeah, the pace of eliminating and the pace of consumption somehow have to balance. Or else, if something is called dirty in our system, then this thing has to be removed. Because if we pile it up, if we have piled it up in the system, it means there are some experiences that we've gone through. For example, if you have a clogged system which has affected your body, do not think that your intestines will be clogged without affecting your skin. And do not look at that intestine when it is so piled up like that and think that it will not affect your eyes. It will affect your brain. It will affect your blood. It will affect even your consumption. It will affect your appetite. It will affect the restoration and preservation of health. And that is why we have to learn this science of eliminating at the pace of consuming. It means it is you to judge yourself that if you have not eliminated, then you should not add into your system. To some, that will be like a punishment. But yes, you've eaten the whole day yesterday. Probably it is 3 times. But you have not moved the bowel, and the dirt is still clogged inside you. Why are you eating today? Why don't you just drink and drink in a manner of drinking light things or even warm water to push what was placed inside, which have not been removed? Because if we do not do that, then you will see that dirty will have its own bad fume. All right? The bad breath that we'll experience will also be smelly sweat, smelly urine, and smelly poop. But what we do not see in our eyes, it is free radicals. And what we do not see in our eyes is the parasites. The parasites will build up, but the germs will build up, the fungus will build up, the viruses will build up, and there is something else that will be building up that we do not see. And these are the causes of diseases. Again, think about the extra fat in the system. We do not see it. But then, because of clogging system, because the dirt is not being removed, and we are busy consuming, but we do not care of how it is being used, it means even the extra glucose that we have eaten, which will have only given us the energy that we want and some extra energy, has been stored in the liver, but we have not used it. And you see the piling up of this extra glucose and extra glucose and extra glucose will turn into fat into the body. And this fat, what will happen? It means in the natural hygiene system, the natural hygiene system demands that the extra glucose be used, because if it is left in the system, it will cause diseases. The natural hygiene process is demanding that the extra fat in the body has to be removed. Excess sugar, excess salt, extra water, because if you do not remove it, then these are the causes of diseases. And the excess water, know what will happen? We will experience now the symptoms, which these symptoms will take us to some diseases. So this body has a tendency of healing itself, but only when it is given the right ingredients. This is very crucial for us to understand. As much, when it is provided the right ingredients, then it is cleaning itself. When it is provided the right ingredients at the right time, then it is feeding, because we can eat and the body refuses to feed, especially when the body is clogged up. When the body is clogged up, then it means that process of feeding the cells is hampered. So when you provide, it does it by itself. But then we need to learn to do it the right way, and the timings are very important. So when we provide the right material, then the body protects itself. It is not us to protect the body. We do not protect the eye cells. We do not protect the heart cells. Neither do we protect the kidneys. We do not protect our bones. All we do is to provide. And when we have provided the right thing and the right way and the right timings, then the growth, we experience the growth. Now, how does the body heals? See the liver, it generates all the time. And the intestine, it generates the lining all the time. And that is why when you break your bone, then it grows back. Now, again, you see the lungs repair. Even after quitting for smokers, you see the lungs repair. A perfect example, for example, is when you see a bruised skin or even a bleeding wound. When that happens, with time, you see the skin is growing, the skin is growing, the skin is growing, the skin is growing, until when you see the scar, but it has fully grown. It has fully grown. And we are not talking about one cell, but human beings have 75 to 100 trillion cells for this grown up. Now, every second that we live, then these cells work tirelessly to take us back to what we call a natural balance. So it does it itself, only by itself, only by itself, okay? Now, when we abuse and we decide that we do not want to care, we want to deal with our wants and not the needs of this body, and we do not care of the timings either, then that is when we become ill. Why? Because then you have the damage of cells and they are destroyed. Now, for example, we need to talk. Let us talk a little bit. We need to talk. What happens? What happens when we decide to eat white bread? What is in white bread? Pause a little bit. What is in white bread? When you decide to buy white bread, then you have glucose. And after glucose, nothing else. And it depends on what you spread. You might put some peanut butter, fine. You might add some jam, yes. But then let's talk about the whole system of natural hygiene. What would you have gotten in white bread? Okay. Now, for example, let's see some of these things that we normally do, and we do not know that we clog the system. Okay. Now, when we decide to toxicate the blood and toxicate the mind and toxicate the body with that liquor, and we know how we start behaving after a few minutes, and then our ways of life, we see the cheese and the white bread and everything, yes, to the system. For example, ask yourself for a minute, this chick of 3 weeks, look at it. It has ballooned, it has big thighs. But when you boil it, it is tasteless. You have to marinate it. Somehow you have to lemon and ginger and garlic and salt it. You have to chill it a little bit. It is a chick of 3 weeks. Do you ask yourself what hormones are there? Yeah? Do you ever question of what has been put in that meat for that chick to balloon? Don't you think that it will also balloon you? Don't you think that the hormones of what you eat will also affect the hormones of your body? Or don't you know that you become what you eat? All right? Now see, the body needs oxygen. And then when you take contrary of what the body wants, don't you think that you are increasing what the body does not want? Now all this, remember, we are speaking of the routines, of the things that we normally do every day. The things that we have forgotten that they really matter. There are some things we do in life and we do not care so much if they matter into our life. But these things matter a lot, because if one cell of your body will wonder of an action you have done, then it means the rest 75 trillion cells to 100 trillion cells will also wonder. Okay? And so, if it matters to the body, then it has to matter to us. All right? So, when we see here in the next screen, then this is what we will see. There is a decision that one has to make. It is just a matter of making decisions. And how and why. We make decisions because it matters. The law of natural hygiene has it this way. There are some things when eaten, for example, like in the breakfast time. Breakfast, that is the time to concentrate in eliminating the waste material in form of fume and liquids and free radicals and solids, everything that the body does not want. Then we start cleaning it from our system in what we call early in the morning to noon. Early in the morning to noon. It is like we design ourselves to wake up in the morning, and from that very moment we wake up, then we decide that whatever we will feed on, whatever we will ingest, and whatever we will eat, and whatever we will drink, we will be that which is reducing the cause of diseases. All right? I need a little bit to repeat about these causes of diseases. We have said, we have spoken of the bad breath, the smelly urine, smelly sweat, the bad odor, the gases, bad gases. But we have also spoken of the solids, yeah, that have to be removed from our system. We have also spoken about the viruses. There are some things when we eat, we reduce the viruses from our system. For example, have you ever taken red onion tea, for example? Yes, I mean red onion. For example, if you take a red onion and garlic and ginger and then you crush it a little bit, and you add some hot water. That is onion tea. Very delicious. And then you can squeeze in some lemon, and then you sip it, and then you take it. You know, because that onion and garlic, it is antibacterial. Then it means because it is antibacterial, you are reducing bacteria from your system. And then because it is an antiviral, then it means you are reducing the virus from your system. But because it is also very good that it is reducing the glucose from your blood, then what happens is that it is removing the extra glucose. It is removing the causes of diseases. But also, what about the fungus? It is an antifungal. So it is removing the fungus from your system. But it has powerful antioxidants. What do they do? These antioxidants are attracting the free radicals from your system, from your blood, from your brain, and from your fat tissues and from your liquid tissues. And what happens is that when these causes of diseases are removed by this antifungal, antibacterial, antivirus, then it means you are free from what is causing diseases. So it means from early in the morning to noon, what you will have eaten will have been these different juices. It will have been you to eat these different things like fruits, and which the main purposes is to remove the causes of diseases. All right? So, for example, again, another formula, it will have been like the green juices. Green juices, pawpaw leaves, for example. I'm not speaking about the pawpaw, but the pawpaw leaf juice. If you blend it and sieve it and drink it, it has antioxidant, it is antibacterial, it is antifungal, it is reducing the glucose in your blood. All these things are reducing the causes of diseases. They are removing the clogginess in your system. For example, if you take plain watermelon juice without adding any sugar, or you can blend it with ginger, you see that one has powerful antioxidant, but at the same time, is removing the causes of diseases. So if you design your life, your system, your routine, that from early morning to noon, your business is to drink and drink and drink, but when you eat, then you only take fruits, because fruits have what we call antioxidants, natural sugar, vitamins, minerals, protein, but which are very readily available to be absorbed in the system. So you eat scientifically, but while reducing the cause of diseases. What happens then? You are cleaning. You are eating, but you are cleaning. The green juice, fresh green juice is cleaning. And then the lemon water is cleaning. And then the pawpaw leaves juice is cleaning. And fruit juices is cleaning. And so as you are removing the bad odor and the solids and the extra liquids and the extra fat and the extra glucose and the extra sugar and the extra salt and the free radicals, you are cleaning all these things in all your seasons. But again, how then should your lunch be like? Your lunch. Now you have drunk, you have drunk, you have drunk, you have drunk, you have drunk all the time. Then it means you will have done very well that when you drink more in the morning hours, then lunchtime is eating time. Eating time. What should you eat? Seeds are more superior. Seeds. Seeds are more superior than roots. Seeds are more superior than roots. What seeds? I mean grains. Grains, grain, G-R-A-I-N-S, grains. But now saying grains alone is not enough until we say whole grains. Whole grains. Now, when it is in seed forms, it is more superior than when it is in powdered form. And we need, remember, this natural hygiene has an art side of it. Then we have to learn the art of taking the seeds raw. Let me give you one, for example. I'll give you one. Now, when you take this fresh corn maize, fresh corn, the one like the one we roast, and then we remove it from the cob and we blend it. When we blend it, then we get milk out of it. And that is why you have seen several times or in several places in supermarket, you have seen what they call corn milk. Corn milk. So you can make it yourself in the house. You have also seen what we call rice milk. But there is something else that is sold in supermarkets. There's oat milk, O-A-T, oat milk. So this is the art because it was not cooked. The maize was not cooked for it to be blended. It was taken raw. So when you have these grains and you have learned the art of taking it raw, then it means your afternoon can go with a nice smoothie. For example, now talk of smoothie. The smoothie, it is maize milk, okay, added with some cashew and almond, and then blended in with some dates and raisins. A delicious meal blended with an avocado and banana. Then you can have that one with whatever else you want. You can have it with a big salad of cucumbers and lettuce and onions and what else? French beans. And you have this, what we call green pepper and yellow pepper and red pepper. Then you can have all the varieties of vegetables which are locally available in your place. So you have your salad dressing of your choice, a big platter. Then if you have such, then you are making sure that you are feeding to restore and preserve health. You restore and preserve because this, what we call the herbs of the field, they have what we call an enzyme. This is a life force and it is boosting your energy. It is boosting your battery from your system. It is like when the battery is like diminishing, it is going to die, and then you pump it up, and then you add it up, and then you recharge the battery. Then when that happens, you are very good. We should learn the art of taking whole grain. We can take whole grain. We can take whole grain plus legumes, but we should not forget about this big platter of salads. We need to learn to combine raw nuts. We need to learn to combine raw nuts. Whatever you have in your locality. For example, sunflower, and for example, sesame. We have macadamia, almond, but we also have pumpkin. We normally forget pumpkins. Even when we take peanuts, we do not take peanuts raw. We normally roast them. So we should learn the art of taking these raw nuts so that we can enjoy our seeds. But there's one thing in seeds. We need to learn to take seeds with fruits. For example, when you're eating watermelon, I'll start with the soft one. Then we take watermelon plus seeds. Watermelon plus seeds. Okay. But again, let me add into something else. We need to learn to take pawpaw seeds. Pawpaw with the seeds, all right? And like oranges with seeds, lemon with seeds. It matters a lot because those seeds are very powerful. They have more than what the fleshy has. And so we need to learn to take such. But what about supper? If we have taken seeds in the afternoon, and we have enjoyed it with a big platter, then we need to also still enjoy plants, but with protein. What protein do you want? We need to think more of whatever protein you want, but now have the protein with a big platter. What am I trying to say? I will say something very controversial. I know you enjoy your rice and beef. I know very well. I know you also enjoy your bananas and meat. Fine. I know you enjoy your roast potatoes and beef and fish and chicken. Fine. But the law of natural hygiene is prohibiting. What is it prohibiting? It's prohibiting mixing starch and animal protein. Why? Because they antagonistically fight each other. Why? Because when we eat, the food is getting digested by the enzymes in our body, all right? And so the enzymes in our body that deal with starch are alkaline in nature. And what? And the enzymes which digest animal products are acidic in nature. Then in this one stomach, then you have acid together with alkaline. What happens? They neutralize one another. You see, that is some kind of fight. We cause confusion, which will give rise to gases and acid and too much acid. Apart from the hydrochloric acid that we have in the stomach, it will cause fermentation. That fight will cause that food to linger longer in the stomach. It will cause digestive issues. And that is why, although you enjoy, those are your wants. And in natural hygiene, we speak of our needs. What the body needs is the starch to be eaten, the seeds to be enjoyed by themselves, the legumes and the grains and the nuts to be enjoyed by themselves. So it is okay to take rice and beans. It is okay to take quinoa and green grams, but with a big platter of salads. It is quite okay to enjoy your chapatis and green grams. It's okay, perfectly okay. But now, what now will not leave you the same is the way you will enjoy even today your chicken and potatoes. At least this information will not leave you alone. The laws of natural hygiene are saying you should eat as per the needs of the body. Now, you can enjoy your starch during the day at lunchtime because the body needs more energy, but in the evening, then enjoy your animal protein. Enjoy your animal protein. But now again, when do you do that? At least 3 to 4 hours before bedtime. I know again for professionals, there is an issue there. I know for sure there is an issue when you tell professionals that it is not okay to eat at 10 p.m. But you see, these are our issues. You were busy in the office, it's okay. You did not have time, yes, it's okay. You had a lot of board meetings, fine. We are speaking of this routine you have, but it will affect you later in life. So what the body will have enjoyed better, the body will have worked better, it is in that environment where you go to sleep when food was eaten 3 to 4 hours before. 3 to 4 hours before. So it means if you normally sleep at 10, then the last meal will have been at 7. This is a big trouble. This is a big problem to professionals. How do you take your supper at 7? But you see, the more you age, 55, 65, then at least at 5 p.m. will have been at maximum. You don't take any food past 5 p.m. But how do we do that? Yes, you can. Yes, we by design. And then how do we take it? For example, how do we enjoy our supper? This is how we take it. Do we enjoy your chicken, for example? Yes. If you enjoy your chicken, then enjoy your chicken with a big platter of plant of the field, of the vegetable salads, the Chinese, the lettuce, the cucumber, the onions, the tomatoes, shredded carrots. These ones are aiding the digestion. So you can have it for supper. You can enjoy your fish with a big platter. You can enjoy your beef with a big platter. You see, if you do that, the law of natural hygiene have opened a window of eating, and that is from noon then to at least 7-ish. If you are a person who sleep at 7, I mean at 10, then what happens? We should consider water. We have to learn to hydrate ourselves. But with the natural law, this natural hygiene, it means when you have taken water from the moment you wake up at 4 a.m., you have been drinking water and green teas and lemon water and onion tea and turmeric water, you've been drinking these watermelon juices, then you do not have to worry, because definitely you will be hydrating yourself very well. It is very important that you hydrate yourself, because if you do not hydrate yourself, then you do not purify your blood. The blood needs to be purified, the whole system needs to be cleaned, and every process in your body needs water. Every process needs water. And then we speak of exercise.
Sorry,
Yes.
Sorry, doctor.
Yes.
I just wanted to say something.
Yes.
For those of you who are just joining us, you're welcome. If you have any question, please try to send it via our chat. You'll see the lower bar is a chat. You can send in your questions so that the doctor, when she does finish her presentation, then she'll be able to answer the questions. Thanks, Doctor. You can proceed.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, we want to see what happens then after we have taken water, and then we are dealing with the exercise. We want to see why we should exercise. There is exercise which has to be scheduled in our routine, but then we need to be physically active throughout the day. It is very important. For example, there is no reason why we don't do our own cleaning, probably because of time. But why don't you, even in the office, prepare your own tea? And why don't you volunteer, for example, to prepare for others? Because you just want to be physically active. Why don't you wake up and stand and take this file from somebody else and take it to another person? And as you keep on hydrating, then it means you'll be moving to go and reduce the water you have taken. So yes, we need to exercise for our heart because it lowers blood pressure. And then it is also strengthening our body. It is helping in retaining the calcium and other minerals. It is lifting up depression. Now, it is helping in anxiety and stress. But you feel good when you walk around, when you are physically active. You see, even when you are working with your computer and you do it while standing and you use stairs instead of using the elevator, all those things are helping us a great deal. So exercise is very important. Then there is this issue of sleeping. Our routines, the current ones, because these are our ones, because of various reasons, we sleep very late, and then it is not, we don't get sound sleep. We do not get adequate sleep. And then we are not in zero thinking, because most of the time probably we go to bed after watching television. You see the flickering of light in these different gadgets that we have, the phone or any screen, are interfering with the production of that sleeping hormone. And so they also interfere with the quality sleep. But there are other things which interfere as well. And these things are, for example, even family issues. And when we engage in hard talks and it is at night, you see, and because we do not have enough time with our families at least, especially for professionals. And so when you reach home, that is when now you bombard your head with every hard issue, or every hard discussion. So when that happens, this piling up is not giving you sound sleep. Scientifically, it is known that there are two types of sleep. The first one, they say it is deep sleep, yes, but this is the first sleep when you jump in bed. And they normally say that if you have any difficult sleeping, you need to learn. There are different herbs that you can take and exercise, but also the physical active and massage and such things will help you at least to be able to sleep well, okay? But then if you have sleep, you need to know that there's a dreaming stage and this other one that is not a dreaming stage. So we need to be able to sleep in all these stages. We need to be able to sleep in the first stage, and we need to also to go into a dream stage. There's a nightmare and a real dream. Most of us do not dream anymore because you do not get the deep sleep. So we need to learn to go to this rapid eye movement sleep and this other sleep. Because what it does, the way you see things happening, when you go to bed very tired. But when you wake up, it has rejuvenated your body and mind. So there is this first sleep that is working on your body, but the second deep sleep is also repairing your mind. So it is very important. So we need to have this quality sleep. But again, what about stress? My dear friends, there are a lot of those things that cause stress. And I will not tell you that stress does not happen. I will not lie to you that you don't stress yourself. But all we want to say is avoid unnecessary stress. But some stress is important for even our brain to function, and for us, because we are human beings and we live in a stressful world, at least it is helping us to grow. So we need some stress to do certain work. We need some adrenaline into our system for some work to take place. Yeah? We have to tackle some issues because we are pushed by this adrenaline. But this stress hormone does not allow us. We should not allow this stress hormone to linger in our body for long. Because when we are stressed, we won't be able to eat. The stress will hinder, will confuse your appetite. The stress will interfere with the function of your brain. Because you know the brain is the control center. But stress will interfere with the control center. The stress again, because it is releasing this hormone, will interfere with your nerves. Your central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system will be affected. And this stress will spoil the minerals in our body. All right? Will cause the body to be acidic. Will take away the calcium and the magnesium and other minerals. And you see, stress will even cause the performance not to be good. So with all this, then it means we only avoid unnecessary stress. How do we avoid unnecessary stress? Do with all your mighty what you have to do today. And then there are professionals. We reach out to people who's professional to deal with what we are stuck with, then they help us. That is number one. But also we have to rely that we can only do enough. We can only do enough. And when we only do enough, then it is helping us a great deal. Now, let's see. There is this issue of trust. There is trust that you trust that you are able. That is why you are where you are. As a wife, you are able to become a wife, and that is why you are a wife to somebody. As a husband, you are where you are because you qualify to become a husband, all right? But you are a mother because you are a mother. and you qualify. So there is an issue of qualification, which is giving us this confidence that we have. All right? It is very important. No, nothing fake. You are there because you did not maneuver things, but you qualified to be there. So the issue of qualification when it comes to trust is very important. So natural hygiene demands that we qualify. We qualify in whatever we want to do. We just have to qualify. Then something else that will bring you trust. For example, it is knowing that professionally you are okay, and even family-wise you are okay, and spiritually you are okay, and mentally you are okay, but mostly when you have qualified yourself with all these things, then the law of natural hygiene demands that you relate very well, you personally, with your mind, with your mental, you personally, that you do not antagonistically fight with yourself, because there are some situations whereby you see a person is just by himself, but the inner speak of other things and the body is there defending. So there are some communications which are not proper. So you need to be at peace with yourself, and you need to be at peace with your faculty. But again, you need to be at peace with your fellow men, all right? It means you have positioned yourself that hygienically, you do not want your mind to be distorted. And so when you have done what you have to do, you feed your brain every day with new things, but things that are helping you, things that are building you, that every day you grow. You have decided that you will grow. You will have new materials that even if they are not of your professional, but you will be growing. So mentally, you are growing, and spiritually, you are growing, and socially. It is good to meet new people. It is good at least to be of help of somebody. It is good to be of assistance to somebody else. And so you are growing. Every day, you are growing in all these other aspects. Then we have issues of the society around us. But mostly, we want to know that we are here not by chance. We are here not by chance. We need to trust God. We need to trust God.
Thank you, Doctor. I have some couple of questions here. One is from Anita Umwisa. She says, yes. I do sleep around 11 p.m. just after looking and getting updates. So she says, as I start, no, let me read very well because I'm not getting. I do sleep around 11 p.m. just after looking and getting updates from the phone. As I start, should I stop looking at the phone 1 hour before bed? And then I think there's another question she has, which is related to that one. She seems to be lacking sleep.
Yeah.
How do you advise her?
Thank you very much, my moderator. And you see, if I understood very well, she's going to sleep after watching. This watching must be on a screen. And any screen that we watch has some lights, and the lights keep on changing different colors because of what she's watching. If it is a movie, if it is a program, whatever it is, and that light is interfering with the production of a sleeping hormone called melatonin. Now, that hormone is the one that is causing us to sleep. So when it is interfered, it means it will not come and will not relax enough to go to bed. So when you see, you have to go to relax a little bit, yeah? So then it means that is why we advise not to be watching any screen at least 2 to 3 hours before bedtime.
Thanks. And another question is from Chawala. from India. He says, does negative versus positive thoughts while eating have negative stroke positive impacts on the utility of food?
Yes, for example, it is very true. It is very true that always the negativity and the positivity normally fight each other. But the law of natural hygiene is teaching us about even the wants and the needs. You see, the wants are the positive, the wants are the negative, but the needs are the positive. There is a fight always between what the body wants and what we give to the body. There is that big gap. All those create some gaps. Now, when those gaps happen, it means these gaps are the ones that are causing diseases.
Okay, thanks. Now, there is another one who is saying, I would like to ask the doctor, what is the right number of hours one may sleep at night? And how many, this is the second question you can add on that. He says, how many liters of water should I drink per day?
I will start with the numbers, the numbers of hours that one should sleep. Generally, they say 7 hours, at least 7 hours to 8 and to 7.5. Many people will do well with 7 hours. But you see, these hours that we speak are continue hours. That is what we call quality sleep. But most of us are not able to go to bed for 7 continuous hours. And that is a big problem. We sleep probably for 3 hours, then we wake up and we think of this and we go to the loo. That one has a problem, but we need 7 hours, at least 7.5 hours. And how many liters? Number one, there will be factors again here. Now, which environment do you live in? Are you in a hot environment or cold environment? Are you under air condition or you are outside the sun? So for somebody, for example, who is outside in the sun, who is doing hard working, that person will need more than 3 liters because the body is sweating a lot or the heat is scorching a lot. And what about the weather? The weather also matters. Are you in a humid place or are you in a dry heat? But for somebody who is, for example, inside in the air condition, who is not physically active, then at least we'll need these drinks we call early in the morning drinks, the lemon tea, the green tea, the ginger tea, the lemongrass tea, some of these, at least 2.5 of these liquids when you put all of them together, as long as they are not added with salt or with sugar. But also because we advocate that that even the lunch one should be the big platter, that greens have water as well. And if we eat as it is suggested with little one, then 2.5, 3 should be it.
This is a compliment. I will read another question later. It says, Erastus Omolo from Kenya. Very good presentation, doctor. You need to come to talk to us in Nairobi.
Thank you.
Excellent teacher. Omoro, we have a recorded version of this webinar, which will be available after this presentation. We normally post them on our website, YouTube, Facebook, and also we'll send everything on the email. So the contacts are on the screen. Dr. Hesperance, Deodate, Kilonzo. You can see she's from Tanzania, and the telephone numbers are there, the email. So please try to get in touch with her. She'll be able to present soon. So thanks for everyone everyone who has managed to attend. There's one other person who is asking any recommendations of good books. Do you have any recommendations?
Yes, I do. There is this book, Fit for Life. There are several books actually, but there is Fit for Life Part 1 and Fit for Life Part 2. These ones are very good books by Sheldon. And I've forgotten the full name, but Fit for Life Part 1 and Fit for Life Part 2. And these are very good books to read, but there's another one, Understanding Nutrition. You can also check that one out. There are a lot of books, but as long as these ones will lead you to what we call natural hygiene. If you Google natural hygiene, you should be able to see several books that you can refer to.
Okay, Muhoza Jean, he says this topic is matching with ICPA courses? Thanks, Muhoza Jean. ICPA, I know it's all about accountant. Please, we do appreciate, and our next webinar is going to be on finance. So, and I remember the webinar today was lifestyle for all seasons. Even if you're an accountant, even if you're a journalist, even if you're any other person, this topic, it concerns all of us. Remember, you have sisters, you have brothers there, you have relatives who are not accountants. So this topic is for us, for all of us. And we every week we do have different topics so that we can, make our audience understand life and whatever they want to achieve in life. So, Doctor, do you have anything to tell us? Anything you would like to say before we end?
I want to thank all of the participants for being there, and I can assure you that we all have bodies to take care of, and then we have diseases and problems to run away from in whatever professions that we are in. And when we learn these things are professional, but we also love the lifestyle, then we mingle them together. And I truly want to thank all the participants and your comments and your positive minds. And I want to thank you, my moderator, Joseph. And I want to thank all the organizers to have thought of feeding all the participants of this useful presentation that will help them and their families. Thank you very much.
Yes, Doctor, before you log off,
yes,
this is just, I think, a question that always comes up, everyone, including me. How can you change your discipline?
You change your discipline by impacting yourself with the knowledge. Even by participating today, I can assure you, Joseph, you will look at food in a different way. So taking one step after the other and seeing the outcome, then it will give you a push to try more and to try more. And the more you try, then you will enjoy the outcome. So you just have to take one step at a time.
Thank you. I hope all the participants have enjoyed the presentation. Let me share our next webinar. It's going to be on finance. This is our next webinar, the impact of COVID-19 on financial reporting. And our guest speaker will be CPA Moses Nyabanda, a pattern at PwC Rwanda. So we encourage everyone to attend on Friday, the 24th, at from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Thanks everyone for participating. Please, if you missed any topic during the presentation, please log into our Facebook and YouTube, then you'll be able to access the whole video. Thanks, Doctor, again. It was a nice presentation, and I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Bye.